This never gets easy. I always go back to the beginning of my role as mayor in Harlem Hospital, where Officer Mora and Rivera were assassinated. I remember watching their family members enter the hospital and a loud yell of, "No, God, please tell me it's not true." I thought about that today when the notification came over from the police commissioner that we had a number of shots fired and we're still unraveling what took place. And our hearts are heavy. 5 innocent people shot tonight. We lost 4 souls to another senseless act of gun violence, including a member of the New York City Police Department, Officer Islam. He served in the 47th Precinct. He was just 36 years old and a 3.5-year veteran of the department. He was doing what he does best, and all members of the police department carry out. He was saving lives. He was protecting New Yorkers. He's an immigrant from Bangladesh, and he loved this city. And everyone we spoke with stated he was a person of faith and a person that believed in God and believed in living out the life of a godly person. He embodies what this city is all about. He's a true blue New Yorker, not only in the uniform he wore, but in his spirit and energy of loving this city. And early tonight, I met with the officer's family. I told them that he was a hero, and we admire him for putting his life on the line. This was his dad's only son. I think about Jordan, my child, and it's unimaginable to experience a loss of this magnitude. And 3 of the innocent civilians are also dead. 2 males and 1 female, and another male is seriously injured, fighting for his life in critical condition because of the violent, despicable attack. Additionally, the shooter is dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. To be clear, 6 total tonight died, 1 including the perpetrator. And I'm sorry, 6 total was shot tonight, 1 including the perpetrator. No words can describe this act of evil, a man who takes the life of others who are innocent. And no words can fill the void that has been left by this tragedy. Our hearts break for the families and friends of the victims. We pray for the swift and safe recovery of the injured. The horrific crime reminds us all how easy it is to gain access to a gun. Gun violence has scarred so many neighbors and ripped apart too many families across this entire country. We will continue the fight to do all we can to protect our city. But tonight we mourn for those who were killed. And we pray for the families as they go through this painful moment. And as I stated, 5 innocent people were shot. And the perpetrator was shot. We will continue to do what we do as a city, and that's fight to protect innocent New Yorkers. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to the Police Commissioner of the City of New York, Commissioner Tisch.
Thank you, sir. The information that I'm about to provide is preliminary and subject to change. At 6:28 p.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls for an active shooter inside of 345 Park Avenue at 52nd Street in Manhattan. What happened next is under an active investigation, and details are still coming in, but here's what we know so far. Surveillance video shows a male exit a double-parked black BMW on Park Avenue between 51st and 52nd Streets, carrying an M4 rifle in his right hand. He walks towards the building's entrance. That individual was seen exiting the BMW alone. The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately open fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar and proceeds through the lobby, spraying it with gunfire. He makes his way to the elevator bank, where he shoots a security guard who was taking cover behind the security desk. 1 additional male is shot in the lobby, per his own statement from the hospital. The shooter then calls the elevator, which opens in the lobby. A female exits that elevator, and he allows her to walk past him unharmed. He goes up to the 33rd floor, which is route and management, and begins to walk the floor, firing rounds as he traveled. 1 person was struck and killed on that floor. He then proceeds down a hallway and shoots himself in the chest. In total, we have 5 victims shot, our officer and 4 other innocent civilians, plus the shooter. The shooter is believed to be Shane Tamura, a 27-year-old male with a Las Vegas address. The vehicle he exited is registered in Nevada to Mr. Tamura. Inside of that vehicle, officers found a rifle case with rounds, a loaded revolver, ammunition, and magazines, a backpack, and medication prescribed to Mr. Tamora. The vehicle was searched by our bomb squad and found to be clear of any explosives. The initial investigation shows that Mr. Tamora's vehicle traveled cross country through Colorado on July 26th, then Nebraska and Iowa on July 27th, and then in Columbia, New Jersey, as recently as 4:24 p.m. today. The vehicle entered New York City shortly thereafter. According to our law enforcement partners in Las Vegas, Mr. Tamora has a documented mental health history. His motives are still under investigation, and we are working to understand why he targeted this particular location. 345 Park Avenue is a commercial office building whose tenants include the NFL, Rudin Management, KPMG, and Blackstone. At this time, 4 of the 5 victims are deceased, including our NYPD cop. Our officer was transported here to New York Presbyterian along with 1 male civilian, the lone shooting survivor, who is in critical but stable condition at this time. 2 other civilians, 1 male and 1 female, both deceased, were brought to Bellevue. The 4th civilian is a female who was found dead on the 33rd floor of the location. Additionally, there are 4 other victims being treated for minor injuries sustained in their attempts to flee the scene. Victims' names are being withheld at this time, pending family notification. Officers from our Special Operations Division are currently conducting a secondary sweep of the entire building. I want to be very clear. We believe this to be a lone shooter, and there is no longer an active threat to the public. But today, 4 innocent victims are dead. Among them is NYPD police officer Didarul Islam, 36 years old, 4 years on the job. Officer Islam was married with 2 young boys. His wife is pregnant with their 3rd child. He's assigned to the 4-7 precinct in the Bronx. He was doing the job that we asked him to do. He put himself in harm's way. He made the ultimate sacrifice, shot in cold blood, wearing a uniform that stood for the promise that he made to this city. He died as he lived, a hero. I want to extend my profound sympathies to all of the victims and their families, and to the brave NYPD cops who today lost a brother. There are still many questions that we have to answer, and we will answer them. But for now, our city is in mourning for the innocent lives lost. May their memories be a blessing.
Patrick Hendry, President of the PBA. This is a devastating night for our city, for our police department. Pure evil came to the heart of our city and struck innocent people. And one of our police officers who were protecting those people. We lost 4 people tonight in our hero brother who gave his life for this city. He was a hardworking police officer who was proud, we know, from hearing from his family, to put on that uniform and shield of a New York City police officer every day and went out and did his job. And he went out every single day to provide for his family, whether it was overtime or whatever he had to do to provide for this family. That's what he did on a daily basis. And his family is devastated. A wife losing a husband who provided for that family. A father who's not going to see his son again. And our hearts of every New York City police officer right now is hurting. We're hurting for our brother police officer who we lost. We're hurting for that family. We're hurting for all the victims and hurting for all the families of the victims. And we're all asking, why? Why did pure evil come here? And we know our police department and our law enforcement partners will work tirelessly to get those answers. But now our job as police officers is to be there for this family, to support them in any way that we can, to come together as a city, to be there for these families of the victims. And we will continue to do that because that's what New York City police officers do. And we're going to continue as police officers to go out and protect this city because we know that evil can strike at any time. But police officers are willing to risk their lives to protect everyone in this room and protect everyone in this city. So we ask all New Yorkers to pray for our police officers' family, to pray for all the victims and their families. And we need to stand united going forward. We thank you for covering this story.
We are also joined by our federal partners from the ATF and the FBI. I want to give an opportunity to our partner in the FBI, a special agent in charge of the New York City Fields Office, Chris Rea.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, on behalf of all the men and women of the FBI, I'd like to extend my deepest condolences to the victims of this senseless tragedy. And also personally, I want to extend my condolences to the police commissioner. And just please know, ma'am and Mr. Mayor, that you have the full force of FBI New York and the full force of FBI to get to the bottom of the answers. Upon learning of the incident this evening, FBI agents immediately deployed to the scene to assist our NYPD partners. While this remains an NYPD investigation, the FBI's New York office stands ready to provide any and all resources to assist our partners. Initial checks of our internal systems have not revealed any information about the subject, but when and if more information becomes available, we will share what we can, when we can, with the public. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to do some on-topic questions, folks. We'll start with CNN, please.
Just a quick question about the police officer. When he was getting in the lobby, did he have a chance to fire his weapon at the shooter, or was it the shooter? And also, when the shooter got to the floor, approximately how many people were on that floor and what were they doing?
All of this information is under active investigation. Our videos are being reviewed. And then as this investigation continues to unfold, we'll be able to answer those questions. But right now, it's an active investigation.
Miles, Commissioner, if you could just talk about, he was working paid detail there. People might not know what that means. And was he the only officer working that paid detail there?
I believe that there were 2 officers in the building working pay detail assignments in different parts of the building.
And what is that if people, they say he's on a day off working in uniform?
Pay detail is a program that we have set up at the police department that allows companies to hire officers in uniform to provide extra uniform security.
Commissioner, did she, based on interviews with witnesses, did she say anything at all? And secondly, did he leave behind any manifesto, any writings?
I already described what we found in the vehicle, and it's too early in the investigation to discuss anything more.
Thank you. Is there any indication that he had any prior connection to New York or to the real estate industry? I believe that's the business reason.
As I said, too early in this investigation to tell, but nothing that we have seen preliminarily.
Commissioner, can you talk about what the medication was that was found in the vehicle?
I cannot.
Can you speak about any prior law enforcement contact you may have had?
I cannot, other than to say that our partners in Las Vegas made us aware of a mental health history. Just what I said already. It was an M4 rifle, and we also found a revolver in the vehicle with ammunition and magazines. He did have a license in the state of Nevada.
Was there any intelligence indicating that this location was at risk beforehand? And are you considering this a targeted attack or an attack?
At this time, it's too early in the investigation to tell.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, so that was that. You know what? It is very much so a tragedy to know that somebody was being irresponsible with their mental health, and things have taken a turn. Innocent people are losing their lives. That's why I always tell us, make sure we are taking care of our mental health. Make sure we are taking the necessary steps to get ourselves together, because it's so much that I can say, but I gotta watch my words because we are here. It's a public platform. There's just a lot going on, and I'm just saying everybody needs to wake up and pay attention. um let's get into it. Deion Sanders has cancer. Girlfriend Karuchi Tran by his side. Now they're saying that Deion Sanders has cancer, and they are saying allegedly that him and Karuchi are in a relationship. Deion Sanders has cancer. Okay, actually, let me go ahead and bring this up so y'all can see. All right, let's get into it. So this is the article. This is Deion Sanders. Shout out to our friends over at Media Takeout. It was produced on today, July 28th, 2025. Deion Sanders diagnosed with bladder cancer, now free with Karuchi Tran by his side. NFL Hall of Famer and Colorado Buffaloes head coach Deion Coach Prime Sanders just revealed that he's been battling bladder cancer. But here's the good news. He's officially cancer free, and he's had a very special someone by his side through it all. The football legends say that Sanders quietly underwent emergency surgery earlier this summer after doctors discovered cancer in his bladder. It was a terrifying moment for the sports icon, especially after a string of recent health scares, including multiple foot surgeries and a near amputation. But thankfully, doctors were able to remove the cancerous growth. The following treatment, they've confirmed that Deion is now cancer free. And through the entire ordeal, he has someone by his side, actress and entrepreneur Karuchi Tran. Karuchi stood by her man. While Deion and Karuchi have kept their relationship largely out of the spotlights, insiders say the Claus actress has been a constant presence throughout his cancer battle. Media Takeout was the first place to break news of their relationship. She never left his side. One source told Media Takeout she was with him at the hospital, at home, the recovery, making sure he was eating, staying positive, and focusing on healing. She's been his rock. Karuchi has remained tight-lipped on social media, but fans picked up on the subtle signs, a few discreet photos, shared moments, and now confirmation that she's been right there through one of the scariest chapters of Deion's life. Coach Prime, down but never out. Let's be real, Deion Sanders is no stranger to fighting through adversity. From prime time on the field to the sidelines of college football, he's always had a warrior spirit, and bladder cancer wasn't about to stop him. So there's a photo of Carucci. Despite undergoing surgery, cancer treatment, Deion remained dedicated to his team. He was still in meetings, motivating players and sharing his signature swagger, even if he was doing it from a hospital bed. In true Coach Prime fashion, he's now turning his health scare into a teachable moment. Insiders say he plans to speak publicly about the experience soon and hopes of encouraging men, especially black men, to take their health seriously and get regular checkups. Fans in love. Once news broke of Deion's cancer fight and his recovery, social media lit up with love, support, and pure relief. Coach Prime, be cancer legend. One fan tweeted. Another wrote, sending nothing but love to Deion and Carucci. A real love shows when things get tough. A comeback for the ages. So what's next for Coach Prime? A full return to the field, of course. He's expected to lead the Colorado Buffaloes this fall with the same fire, faith, and flashy style that made him a legend. And now he's got a renewed lease on life and a love story that's quietly blooming behind the scenes. We're so glad to hear Deion Sanders is cancer-free and thriving. And shout out to Carucci Tran, the real MVP. In his corner, love, strength, and resilience. That's power couple energy. Okay, shout out to Carucci and Mr. Deion Sanders. All right, so what's next on the docket around the world? Oh no, they said Simone Biles. Um, Jennifer Hudson's son embarrasses the hell out of her. Social media is cooking him. Oh, child. Okay, let's get to him. And how did he embarrass his mom? It says Jennifer Hudson's son drew a blank on Family Feud, embarrassed his mom. Jennifer Hudson appeared on Family Feud alongside her son and family members earlier this month. The team battling it out against Taraji P. Henson and her family was hoping to win some money for charity. While they accomplished their goal, it didn't happen without a little hiccup. Jennifer Hudson learned during the course of the show that she left some gaps in her son's music education. David Daniels Otunga Jr. embarrassed his mom by falling short on a music-related question. Jennifer Hudson's son didn't know any R&B girl groups on Family Feud. David Daniel Otunga Jr. took to the Family Feud stage to win money for a charity, but what the team didn't know was that he was about to embarrass his mom. Otunga faced off against a member of Taraji P. Henson's family in the second round of the game, but he drew a total blank when Steve Harvey asked him to name a famous R&B group. Otunga Jr., who goes by the name DOJ, couldn't come up with a single group. While his horrified mother looked on, Hudson, exasperated with her son, yelled, "I'm your mother," while he drew a complete blank. Otunga later quipped that having Hudson as a mom didn't help, since Dreamgirls was a fictional story. Oh, child. Well, let's see here. If you want to get more up into it, girl, get on over there and read it for yourself, child. While Otunga Jr.'s subpar performance on an R&B question certainly got to Jennifer Hudson, it wasn't the only issue she had with the question. DOJ's knowledge gap was soon forgotten after both families failed to reveal all the answers. Steve Harvey read the missed survey answers aloud. Both Hudson and Henson took issue with some of the answers that were revealed. They were both dismayed to see the Spice Girls listed as an R&B girl group, with Hudson screaming that they were a pop group. Okay, clock it. He said while DOJ was unable to answer the R&B question correctly, his team still won plenty of money for the charity. While their first money score fell short of the 200-point goal, they still won $10,000 for the charity of their choice. Jennifer Hudson founded the Julian D. King Gift Foundation following tragic murders of her mother, brother, and nephew. The foundation, named after her slain nephew, supports underprivileged children in and around Chicago. She also founded the Hudson King Foundation, which provides support to families of victims of violent crimes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on into our next topic. And I just want to thank you all so much. All right, now let's get up into it. It's the mess. Who's older and who has a higher net worth, Jay-Z or Sean Diddy Combs? Following Sean Diddy Combs' arrest and trial for trafficking and other charges, several celebrities who were once tight with the bad boy executive began to distance themselves from him. However, when lawsuits started to pile up against the disgraced music mogul, the names of a few of his former friends made headlines. One name that's come up a lot is Jay-Z, the 99 Problems rapper, even got dragged into some legal drama as well before a lawsuit against him was dismissed with prejudice. Unfortunately for Jay, fans haven't forgotten that he and Diddy were close friends for several years. Here are some facts about the two hip-hop giants, including who's older and who has a higher net worth. 50 Cent takes brutal swipe at Jay-Z over his friendship with Sean Diddy Combs. Jay-Z's age and net worth. Jay-Z was born in the Brooklyn borough of New York City on December the 4th, 1969. In the early 90s, he was selling CDs out of his car. Then in 96, his debut album, Reasonable Doubt, was released. He received praise from critics, and the record was later certified platinum, but that was only the beginning for Jay. He went on to release a dozen more successful albums and is in the conversation as one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time. Okay, so if you want to check that out, get on over and read it. All right, now let's go ahead and get into our next article. Let's see. Okay, let's get into this. I think I want to review this one. Shout out to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We will be reviewing you all. I want to see either later tonight or tomorrow. I'm thinking more of Tuesday. We're gonna tell her how it is on Tuesday. Shout out to Phaedra, her date. Shout out to Britt Edie, her date. Portia and Cynthia. This was at Charles and Angela's foundation, I believe. But look how Charles is looking over there. Damn, child. Get into that. Roa's Phaedra Park says she's still in a good place with Britt Edie. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Phaedra Parks is opening up about her friendship with Britt Edie in a recent interview, but failed to show up for the season 16 reunion, much to Phaedra's shock. Well, I expected her to be there. She picked up her dress, and I know she got manicure and pedicure in preparation for the reunion. So it was utterly shocked. I was utterly shocked when I found out she wasn't there. I had no idea she wasn't coming, so it was a huge shock to me, Phaedra told Extra TV. Okay, clock this to y'all. Phaedra was then asked whether she was still in touch with Britt. Her initial response was not direct. I had sent her a wonderfully gorgeous bouquet of flowers before the reunion, the day before, just to encourage her. And she had a death in her family, so she sent me a text, and that's about the extent of it. Eventually, when she pressed, she responded, well, I mean, yes, we're still in a good place. Britt announced her exit from the show, but fans were more disappointed that she failed to show for the reunion, considering several of the main storylines revolved around her. What are y'all thoughts about it? Okay, let us know in the comments. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right, so this is our hot topic celebrity news segment for the show. I really hope you all enjoyed it. All right. Well, listen, you already know what time it is. It's time for you guys to hit like, share, subscribe, and come back. Also, tell somebody that we're live. Replay gang. Thank you so much. See you on the next broadcast. So long.